All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm so large. I don't know what OBS is doing nowadays. But you know what? We're going to make it work. I'm massive. Hello. No. Uh, oh, look at this. We're editing on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. We love it. Don't we love it? Thank you for the follow, OnlyFuzz. I hope you're having a good day. I hope everybody's having a good day, man. It's a great day to have a great day. Always in my book. As we edit. Like I said, hope everybody's having a good day. You know, we get it. We live, we thrive, we prosper. I know a little bit of a housekeeping thing. I will probably be doing a lot more midweek streams going forward for the next little bit. The schedule's getting a little hectic, but primarily we might start going midweek Wednesday, or we might do Friday or Sunday. Just a little heads up for the people. I'll get into it a little bit later, but let's talk because we've gone international again. Yes, that's 2 straight streams for people outside the U.S. That's crazy. Today we have a fantastic guest. We have Finn of Oral Alliance joining us. Finn, hello. Hello, Finn.
Einen wunderschönen guten Abend an alle Damen und Herren und alle zwischendrin.
Good God! We do this. For people that don't know, Finn is also German, but currently resides.
Yeah, that was German indeed.
Yes.
Hello everyone. It's an honor to be here.
Yes.
Feeling really great. I'm like, yeah, I was here last time on Nonstop Pop stream and loved the vibe. And yeah, it's actually really great to be the person in the stream now this time around.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you know, I think that it's you know, I don't know how I tend to get just like furry music people. That kind of seems like really just been my this little run that I've been on. I literally feel like Carson Daly doing this stuff. I'm like, this is just furry TRL essentially with all the people coming on. How's it going? How's everything going across the pond?
Yeah, I mean over here, like so far all good. We've been having a good time, and right now I'm off work, so that's great. I can just focus on other things, especially just relaxing for a bit. But you know, the label doesn't necessarily give me a lot of time to relax, but
yeah,
it's okay because I actually chose to do that. It's fun. It's a lot more fun than working for a corporation.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like, of course, you know, think with the creative sense, you know, it even though it is work, it doesn't really feel like work, you know. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I can just grind through the whole day, and I don't feel sick of it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So while we're talking about, you know, talking about the label, this, that, and the other, why don't you kind of give a little background for the people? I know we got a few interested parties in here, a few label mates of yours. So why don't you go ahead and expound upon Oral?
Yeah, there's already a few label mates in the chat, but yeah, a little bit of me. Let me introduce myself. I'm Finn. I'm from Germany, and I'm currently running a relatively fresh new label. It's been around for like 2 months now. It's called Oral Alliance, and right now we've got almost 30 artists on board, and soon to be 33, up to 35 maybe.
Damn.
And already 100 tracks released.
Oh my
with
God.
A lot more to come next month. And yeah, we're a furry music label. We're basically we're built on socialist principles. We do share revenue across like equally between all artists. We do collective decision making for the most part, and just generally trying to foster like a very social and collaborative environment. And so far, it's going fantastically.
I was gonna say it. You're underselling yourself. You said getting ready to have 35 label members. 100 plus songs released this year? Dog, you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like I said, it has been a grind. Yeah,
that's so
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, and like for the next month, it should be like what? Let me count. Like I think about 30 songs releasing next month of a whole variety of genres. We have Goji releasing their new album, well, the first in 3 years, on September 1st. We have a massive breakbeat track from like a 17-year-old guy. Absolutely awesome. We've got a music video lined up for that too. If we,
Okay.
we
All right.
might be able to premiere it on the stream if you want to, but it is a bit flashy, so I don't know how well it's going to work on here. Yeah, we've got greetings from Kaz, by the way, Kaz Everender. I'm sure if you know them. And
Alright.
end of the month, new album from Everender as well. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be filled. And Tonya's song for the first time on streaming. Super proud about that.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
getting a bit fast here, like getting excited myself right now.
No, Tanya, I fucking love Tanya. I have not gotten the chance to see them perform live, unfortunately. Just cons. You know how things go. But Goji, I see you in the chat. Hello, I've got my eye on you, and I see you. I see what you're doing, especially with the graphics. I got you. I see it. I respect it. That's crazy. That's so like how'd you get your start like one to get this going?
Well, about 2 3 years ago, there was Fuzznet Music. Might ring a bell to a couple people. It was moderately successful, but we did run into funding issues. And with the war in Ukraine starting, my boyfriend is still stuck in Ukraine, and it was a big downer on like the mood and motivation and everything. So it was a hard time for me to like get everything managed. So we did end up closing it down, both due to the funding and me personally just not being able to do it properly anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like 2.5 months ago, I just kind of got into the conversation. I saw a bunch of stuff from from Magic Records, and then I also stumbled across Tricky Stew with their Intro to Furry Music playlist. I was like, wow, stuff really happened since Fuzznet closed down, because a lot of like this with NSP last time. We like you had that with like in the past 2 years, furry music really matured a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh, yeah.
happening. It was really cool to see that. And I got in a conversation with a friend of mine who then kind of asked me about Fuzznet. And I was like, wow, maybe I should try this again. I'm more financially stable now. I'm better mentally and everything. So it would be a good thing. And with my early connections from Fuzznet, I was basically able to get like 15 artists signed on within the first week.
Damn.
And yeah, that's how we basically got to launch now in the past 2 months, and basically keep the momentum going so far.
No, I mean that's kind of really been like I agree with you. Like, even though I haven't been in the fandom like a long time, like with the progression of I kind of don't even really want to call it furry music anymore, because
Yeah.
like furry music like has like a connotation of like the subject matter and everything like all being anthro focused, but this is just like now it's gotten to the point where it's just like really good music made by furries. And
Yeah, to be fair, kind of everyone I've worked with in the past year or so, I don't think anyone really considers furry music like kind of furry music. Like
Yeah.
we're way beyond the time, so we had like all the single furries and stuff. We're kind of beyond
yeah.
that now. Right now, I think everyone is pretty much on the same page that furry music is mostly music by people who happen to be furries. And that's also how we market it. Like, we don't do like kind of furry music or whatever. We don't want to be silly or furry or whatever.
Yeah.
We're just furries. We're proud of the fact that we're furries, and we try to like bring the space together and do cool things.
Yeah, yeah, no, and like I was gonna say, and I guess we can get a little bit more into it, just like the how you've kind of seen the evolution of it over the last few years. How exactly like how do you feel the fan, I guess the fandom as a whole has progressed musically, whether that be the emergence of labels like actually producing this high quality music, or the support like how have you like seen, if you could give some examples, just like how the tide has turned over this last little stretch of time.
I think one specific thing that just comes to mind right now is with all our forms we had, like the sign up forms and like a bunch of surveys we had going. One thing that struck me is there is a massive amount of furries who like started making music. Like we do ask that question in our forums, that started making music within the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That alone is already a big indicator that there's like, kind of new generation
Oh
coming
yeah.
in. That alone can already cause a huge cultural shift in things. And I do see that there's also like a huge amount of like the younger audience going on. So like there's definitely like this generational shift going on with the older groups. They're still a bit more into their own little niches and groups, and a lot of them are not even on Spotify yet or anything.
Yeah.
That's also um, I can't explain why that is, but like the older generation kind of seems to stick more to like stays a bit more secluded, while the newcomers now are trying to really get out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really noticeable. Like yesterday, we opened our new artist submissions for round two,
Okay.
and within a day, we have 46 submissions
Oh
now,
my lord.
which is
That's
insane.
crazy.
And I've browsed through half of them now, and yeah, a lot of them are really newer artists trying to like being experimental, trying something new, and just trying to reach out to people to like collaborate. Like the vibe shifted so much, and it's really cool to see so many more people coming together. You also see the same thing with like a bunch of Discord servers. Like I'm kind of passively in a bunch of them, and I'm just scouring through like keyword searching on Twitter with like furry music and whatever.
Yeah.
A lot more people are starting to talk about like music, like furry made music as well. Like you do see more support going on. It's still a bit on the early shoes, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still the issue that like visual art gets much more
Yeah,
attention,
of course.
but it is growing for music. Like Magic is doing fantastic work with
Yep.
all the live facts.
Yep.
Like that alone, I've seen so many people talk about that and
Yep.
like how much is going on there.
Yeah, they're great.
And yeah, with Tricky Stoop's intro to furry music, it's over like what 1,300 likes now. Like the audience is growing and the interest is coming in, and it's getting a lot more serious. A few servers who basically only had a single music channel now started to basically expanding that section as well to like include like a collab channel
Yeah.
and resources channel and stuff, which is really cool to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do have Haley in the chat. Haley did want to ask about the forums, so maybe you might want to hit them up after all this
Yeah,
is said
if
and done.
If you
Are,
have
are
any
the forums still
questions
up?
about like form stuff and label like specific label stuff right, regarding signing on, you can ask me that in private unless you have like a more general question.
Yeah. Are like the forums and everything like that's still up, just in case anybody that might be listening and not in chat is interested?
Yeah, the submission forms, they are up right now on our website, ouralliance.page, and they will be open until end of September. So you have more than enough time
my
to
God,
like
yeah.
get something cooler and submit it.
All right, cool. Just making sure. Soul did hit a pretty decent point about like this boom of I don't want to say furry music, but music made by furries. COVID, like and like kind of COVID somewhat coinciding with this boom. Do you feel uh like the experiences from that, whether that be the physical experiences of like literally like having to remain stationary in one place, or even just like the emotional and mental experiences of COVID? Do you feel like that has played a major role in this furry music?
I feel certainly. Like for one, a lot of people were basically forced to stay home, and like with all the remote learning and stuff, that also goes again into the younger generation coming in. Like people, like especially the younger people, being forced to stay in home and then like doing remote school, getting maybe new laptops, new computers to do
Yep.
that, right? But outside of that, they're still stuck at home, and they're like now they have to try something new to do. A lot of people started streaming or just gamed a lot, but there's a lot of people who also just started at least experimenting with music a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're starting to see the results of that. Like people starting to get proficient with music, like 2 or 3 years. It's not that much time in the grand scheme of things,
But
but
the
it
growth.
is certainly enough to like get some really cool tunes out.
Oh yeah. No, and like that's been really really crazy to see.
And
Uh,
yeah,
you did make mention of this earlier. I think it might have been online or something like that. But uh, kind of like where the name Oral Alliance come about. The name and like the logo, because I've always been a little intrigued into that.
Um, the name actually was I basically cheated a bit on that one because I wanted something. Like the most important thing is a unique name,
Yep.
right? Which was immensely hard to find. Like holy shit, you find all kinds of word combinations, and if it doesn't exist normally, there's probably some Chinese dildo company who will have the name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But so try to come up with something like that, and maybe even with both starting with the same letter, and trying to have something that both conveys that we're like a collective, and also conveys that we have something to do with sound. So
Yeah.
oral is pretty nice because sound,
Yeah.
and then the alliance. So that makes sense. And then with Fuzznet, I had a logo which was basically a raccoon merged together with a Wi-Fi symbol, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I tried thinking of what kind of logo can I make that kind of like it is just subtly furry.
Yeah.
And now we have those two A's, which I use with the font that we use, and basically turned out they kind of look like furry ears.
Yeah.
I made a tweet about that. Like it's basically a little silly. It's a lot more subtle than the Fuzznet one, but like yeah, they're basically representing furry ears, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Speaking of online, you've had a week. You have definitely had a week online. You mentioned
yeah.
you mentioned your like kind of the general socialist type principles that the label
Yeah.
has, and that flows into the forms that you gave out. And for the people that didn't really know, there is a golly, I forgot the technical wording, but said some it said something to the extent of uh, uh, you say it. You say it. What was the checkbox at the bottom?
Yeah, we integrated like a little checkbox at the very end of the form. So you have to go through 5 pages of the form, right? And there's a checkbox that says, "I hereby declare that punching Nazis is always morally correct." Right, a little litmus test. I kind of put it in there as a joke. I didn't think anybody like why would a Nazi type apply to a socialist label, right? It was more there as like a little test. And someone actually came in and like messaged me and was like, why is this there? Does this have to be there? Like why can't we just leave the politics be for a second? And someone actually fell for the litmus test. And the funniest thing about it is I just posted like it was already late in the evening. I just thought like it was funny, so I posted it on our socials, and it fucking popped off.
Blew up.
Holy shit! Like we got more from this single post than from the whole past 2 months of promo and marketing. We just from one post we got 1,000 followers on Twitter and almost 700 followers on Blue Sky.
No,
Insane.
yeah, I was gonna say it's so funny because like I want everybody to know this. This interview and this thing had been in the works for a little bit. So like this is not a spur of the moment deal. I'm trying to pull up there it is. I'm trying to pull up the tweet, but like just letting everybody know this was not a completely like a completely spur of the moment thing because of this tweet. I didn't mean to send it there. I'm trying to get it up on the iPad. There we go. iPod. Good lord. But yes, here it is. Oh, look at that. It's low as hell, but like
There we go.
yeah. I mean just. I literally like this interaction that you had. You know, it's funny that it blew up, but it is kind of like it to see like it's not really like a foreign concept for a label or an entity to take a stand like that, but to see something like this be, even though I know you said it was a joke. To kind of have that be be a litmus test of sorts. It is refreshing, but kind of one of the things that like can only happen in a space like this. So how do you feel as though like your labels like principles and your labels philosophies? I know you got into it a little bit earlier. How do you feel as though that
Yeah.
plays into everything that you guys do?
Let me take a sip first. So, first of all, I do have a bit of a background. So I am German, right? And but I come from like a Russian family. I am queer as hell, like very and furry. Like I'm like I'm ticking pretty much all the minority boxes other than being black, right?
Yes.
And my whole family tree is basically they're so far gone. They have sucked on Russia's propaganda nipple for like basically their whole life, and I was always the outlier to that. So like, I have experienced like all the shit from like while I grew up, like from household violence to like queerphobia to basically to like racism and my own mother basically telling me on the phone that my boyfriend would basically like he deserves like he and his country they deserve to be killed and raped and whatever,
Damn.
right, on the phone from my own mom.
Damn.
So really great. And I'm just very like I'm trying to come from all these experiences, and I just understand these perspectives. I personally, I just try to vibe, and my whole goal, like my whole mission in life, is just being able, like trying to make that possible for other people too, right?
Yeah.
So this whole thing goes into the philosophy, like in both my life philosophy. Like I'm a proud socialist in that sense, and I try to put that into my work. Like I always try to do community work since I joined the furry fandom, and like since I found this kind of community, like pretty much was the first community I really felt at home in. And I joined the fandom around 2016. And I think it took me like a month to like start my first Discord server, and then I led a couple servers. It was always pretty good fun. Something always kind of came in between, and like I don't know. Sometimes it just kind of slowed down, and that's okay. And sometimes some other drama happened. You know, furries.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, every time something I try something new, I try to iterate on those ideas, and I always try to build some kind of social component into it. And I think it's just super important to just be there for each other. Like we've all, I think we've all heard of this one specific musician that has been making the rounds last week. Who pretty much I have personally have not met a single person who likes her, and yeah, like a certain civic person.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the complete opposite of what we're trying to be, and what I think is the right way for like our community as a whole, right?
Yeah.
But like fuck competition. The only competition I want is on how much we've helped each other out.
Oh yeah, and it's funny enough. I was literally getting ready to say something along those lines. I will not say her name, but seeing the kind of furry musician. I literally hate to use like terms like drama. I will go with the term that I'll call beef. I'll call it beef. Like to see the response and like the general difference in attitude. I guess the best way to put this in how certain people. I have two people in mind myself that I won't give them names because I know they love attention, but like who kind of have the aspect of it can only be me like succeeding. Like they want to be known as the only furry musician or the furry musician, and like that how against the grain that is, like with the inert nature of the community. And I was just kind of thinking, how like despite that, how have you felt just like the general camaraderie amongst musicians in the fandom grow? And I know that also has kind of coincided along with this boom of it. But how do you feel as though like there's been like really good coalition between everybody?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that?
I've seen a lot of that happening more and more as well. Like, there's this cool Telegram chat, for example. Like, it's basically a furry producer chat. I don't know who runs it, but like, it's got 170 people in there. Um, the amount of support like each other is giving each other is giving everyone else certainly is growing, and there's more people kind of realizing that like it's it's okay to like it's completely valid to grind for like personal success, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, in the end, we all just kind of try to make a point in life, like achieve something, be proud of something, and I think it's kind of a mix of personal pride and society kind of forcing us into thinking like this has to be a solo grind. If you're not doing a lone wolf, it doesn't matter. It's basically cheating or whatever,
yeah,
right? Um, and like there's a few conventions who have also started. Like I heard of A&E
yep,
basically doing a thing where their concerts and all the musicians they invite, they basically prefer bands
yeah,
to like play on the music stage, and they have said that it has led to situations where a couple solo acts who really wanted to like be on the music stage, they started getting together and basically form like an improvised band just
yeah.
for this performance. And I think that's a great example of what happens when you just kind of encourage people to work together
Oh
so you
yeah,
can actually like stand in the spotlight together as well,
yeah.
right? Work together to achieve something cool, and everyone gets the benefit of it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that that's something really dope. And I I I I want to say this with like all due respect to all the furries and everybody that's watching and listening. For as much of the community, like within the fandom aspect, is very much community based. There are a lot of people that I'll put this in probably the nicest way that I could. Did not get the attention that they feel as though they deserved growing up, and whether that be from parents, from teachers, from people they look up to, or just in general, like especially like within their creative pursuits, or this, that, and the other. And this fandom does give people an opportunity to put yourself out put yourself out on display for everybody, and like, with that being like a solo thing, and somebody trying to make sure that it's just them, because like
Yeah,
like they didn't get that growing up. But like kind of like what Soul said, people kind of, I don't want to say people missed on like the bully phase, but there are,
that's one way to put it.
yeah, yeah. But like there is kind of like a general feeling amongst a lot of people that I feel, and where it's just like they have not been told no, and the general aspect of not getting enough attention, but also like not getting the proper guidance, does lead to these feelings that we're seeing from these people that are not going to be named, and they only go so far to an extent. When you take a step back and you realize like, oh, I've done all this, but then there's still nobody behind me propelling me forward, like that actually like genuinely cares about me. They kind of just care about the idea of me. I think
Yeah,
that's what I feel as though like and I'm not gonna limit it to musicians, because I've seen it through artists, I've seen it through suitors, I've seen it through sellers, and this, that, and the other. Just the general, like kind of like, yeah, a sense of entitlement. Like, yeah, I
yeah.
am deserving of this spot, rather than I'm not saying that you have to grind solo, that you have to do this, you have to do this, that, and the other, like in order to reach these stats. Because I mean, hey, I'll be honest, I as a creator myself, it's a crapshoot sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't know
Like,
what's gonna pop off, you don't know what's not. But the general aspect of it all is that you know,
I think every creative has been at a point at some point where they have done something cool that they were proud of, and it just did not get the attention they were hoping for. And it's a common occurrence. It just happens, especially in like, the social media space we have nowadays. It just things like that just happen. And I guess there's just these two ways of how to cope about it that people choose. Like, and a lot of people just kind of fall into this hole where when they feel like they didn't get the attention they felt they deserve, they just get angry inside, and like if that builds up, they lash out at other people, and they're just gonna make things worse. They're gonna burn all the bridges they had, and they diminish the chances they're going to have at success the next time they're trying to do something. While on the other hand, if something just didn't go as well as you'd hope, there's like you can just there's this way to like analyze it. Like what happened here? Could I do something different? Was I just a little unlucky? Just having some time to reflect on what the situation was. Sometimes it hasn't been your fault. Like I said, like social media is shit nowadays. It's very hard for like to like get seen properly. Like I said, we had one post that did better than two months of 100 tracks in promo.
Yeah.
It is just like that sometimes. But you can optimize your chances. You can increase your chances, especially by working together. One of the cool things we can do with all this label setup is basically take away a lot of the work.
Yep.
So like basically, if you're part of our label, all you kind of need to do is make a song and then just submit it. If I have the time, I can even make a cover image for it as well. So you send in the track, maybe the cover image, and then you can lean back because everyone else is doing what they're good at, right? Like I'm gonna take it and deliver it to stores. I'm gonna do most of the promo and whatever, and just do take a lot of that weight off, while the artist can then more focus on the art that they actually want to make. Because I've heard it a lot from especially musicians that were kind of frustrated, where nowadays it becomes like a thing. You have to become a multitasker to like get any kind of success.
You have to become a multitasker,
just,
and you have to like get that success almost overnight.
Yeah. Like, you don't just have to create a song now. Now you also need to do graphic design. You need to kind of study marketing to kind of know when and how to post and market yourself. You might even have to like become your own PR person, even if you're maybe like anxious as fuck and really don't like doing that kind of stuff. So those are also just areas where it's just super nice to work together, because creators can focus on their fucking creativity instead of being machines to like feed a kind of algorithm or something, just to have their creativity actually seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of like what Chat's been saying, it like the biggest thing that like you can do as a creator, and like I know that it's scary for a lot of people, but put yourself out there. You never know what's gonna work, and two, even if it does not get to the level that like you hoped it would, there's always a lesson within that. And I think that, maybe that plays into the aspect of those people that aren't going to be named, in the aspect of maybe they have experienced that failure. I'm not going to call it failure. Like, if you create something, there's merit to it. But like as a creator, like if you deem it as a failure, whether you internalize it like and get better, or you externalize it and just keep trying to like hammer home, like it's not on me, it's on XYZ, that kind of thing. And I feel like attitude is everything. Like whether you're doing a creative pursuit like this, or you're working a regular ass job, I feel as though like attitude is everything as pertains to it. If you come and you show up every day, or you show up as best as you can, as it pertains to whatever you do, and keep a good head about it. Bullshit's gonna come your way. It's
Yeah.
life. Like bullshit's gonna come your way, but keeping your head up and like making sure that like just little by little get better every day.
Yeah,
If
the
you
way
have a
the way I
goal,
see it, failing is just proof you tried.
yeah, yeah, literally. Like the worst thing you can do is, in my mind, is not doing something. Like fear of failure, fear of this, that, and the other. Like if you keep your wits about you, like despite the bullshit, it's gonna make those good days feel so good, and you'll feel so enriched by it.
Yeah. Like goddamn, like this past time where I actually finally did something. Like I basically it wasn't really doing anything between Fuzznet and now that I'm doing something again, it feels so refreshing and just being able to like influence so many people's trajectory for the better in one way or another, be it inside or outside the label. It's just super fun. I don't know. I just I get a lot of what would you call it? Fulfillment out of it, right?
Yeah,
And I just want more people to like at least try it out and maybe see if they get the same kind of fulfillment because man, the world sure would be a better place for it.
yeah. Oh my God, absolutely. And I mean, obviously, sometimes with circumstances like you might not have the means or the opportunity to try to,
Yeah.
try to pursue it, but at least I kind of in my mind, it, it's a quote that says like if golly, I've forgotten the quote, but it's like as long as you're doing something, just do what you can. I've forgotten the first part of it, but like if you can't do it all, do what you can, and even with that little bit, like I feel as though that just at least mentally and spiritually enriches you as a person. Like I said, like the worst thing you can do is just not do it, whether that be for fear of failure, fear of this, like this, that, and the other. If you're interested in it, hey, I say give it a go. It might not be as successful as you want, but nothing hurts with giving it a try because then you'll be thinking about it.
I think too many people these days they're like super discouraged from trying things because like I don't know you go on TikTok or something and basically all the stuff you see on the front page are just people doing absolutely ridiculously cool or great or
Yeah,
skillful things and it warps this perception of things that like if you're not exceptionally good at something you're bad
yeah,
and that's just such an unhealthy mindset to have.
yeah. No,
And it's
exactly.
really it's really a shame when that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, no, exactly. And kind of like what Soul said, like people also don't want to fail. Like I obviously people don't want the feeling of failure, but kind of after a while, like you kind of have to like make yourself just think like, all right, not everything I do is gonna be 100% perfect. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Not everything that I do is going to be 100% well received. I'm fine with that. At the end of the day, there's gonna be people that think your stuff is not that good, and there are gonna be people that might make fun of you of it. Right? Like unfortunately, that kind of just is the name of the game with the online content creation sphere. But I mean, it's been like that forever. Live shows that people did before the internet and this, that, and the other. There was always somebody doing that, and
Yeah.
what's like the top bands, the top acts, top performers of all time, all had haters. All had people that thought like they're not as good as they think they are. Like don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like it's gonna happen. But as long as you find and you have even if it's just one person that supports you and connects with what you do, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I definitely
I
think it's
think like
yeah.
especially if you're having fun with it like so many people are like if you just fail at something even just slightly it's like time wasted but like time spent having fun and like you should have fun when you're like pursuing something creative is not time being wasted like it's never time being wasted when you just have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like There is like even if you're creating for an audience of none, you're creating for yourself. Make the shit you want to make. Like if nobody is supportive or nobody's paying attention, at least you are paying attention, and that's kind of all that matters. Like at the end of the day, as long as you make something that you feel good about for yourself, it's worth it. That's worth it in my mind.
Yeah.
I kind of thought about what you were saying earlier, talking about all the single furries, and just thinking about I literally like just thinking about like how far it's come since, and I know that was like what 15ish years ago at this point.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, look, hey, chat, do not worry, I'm not gonna put the video up. By God, no.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh,
it's been 8 years ago.
8? Really?
Almost 9.
Ooh,
yeah.
Well, regardless, that exacerbates my point even more. Like within a decade, we've gone from, a very furry oriented Beyonce parody to labels making genuinely groundbreaking music, and for as much as we've talked about, what has been going on so far and with this recent boom within it, I kind of want to get your thoughts. Like, where do you think is next? Like what is the? I guess it's a bit of a two-part. One, what is kind of like the general like where you want to take this label going forward, and then two, where do you think like music, like furry made music as a whole, is going in the next little bit?
There's actually something cool I can share about that. So there's two parts to this whole thing. Like since like this whole furry thing, we have the online space and we have the real life space.
Yep.
So what I think is going to happen first is the online space is going to start become a lot more closer, and there's something that we are working on. I have a developer on board, Silver Eagle, who is basically working with us to create a new furry music database.
Okay.
Which is going to be a completely own website built from scratch. It's going to be a web app. And you'll be able to log in there with like your social account, with like Alt0.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Discord. You can log in with Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, whatever. And it's going to be a completely user-generated platform where you'll be able to basically put in labels and furry musicians and also connect them with each other. And there's going to be an index and a search engine and filters. So it's going to be completely automated as well. So back then with Fuzznet, I had like a furry music list, which I completely did manually. It was way too much work.
Yeah.
And it was pretty hard to do. And now we're working on this website where you can just log in, create your page, add your pictures, have a portfolio up, and people will be able to get on the page, put in a bunch of filters of what they're looking for, what kind of music, what kind of artists. There's going to be filters for like BIPOC artists and genres and whatever, and you can just pinpoint exactly what you want to find, and everyone can just get in and create their page themselves with pretty much no friction. And that alone is going to be really great. Because back with Fuzznet, the manual page I made, pretty much had like 3 times the traffic our website had for the entirety of the label running. So there's a huge demand for this. There's pretty much, other than like a Google spreadsheet from someone, I don't know their name right now, which is like this huge furry list, which is just a Google spreadsheet, right?
Yep.
We don't really, and other than Spotify playlists, we don't really have any other resource in the fandom to like get into furry musicians, like find a bunch of people, like find the right music for you, and that makes discoverability hard, and that makes it hard for like people to get into specific artists, because it's even going to be a problem for our label, because you open our Spotify profile and there's going to be like a massive amount of releases from like 30 different artists.
Yeah.
So where do you start, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a bit overwhelming for people.
Yeah.
And my hope is that creating a website like that assuming it's going to work as well as we intend to, it's just going to open a whole new gate, maybe even a whole new um, time of people like musicians being able to place themselves into a fandom curated spot, run for and like buy in for furries, and being able to just be found
Yeah.
and for listeners to for listeners to find. And that's gonna be great. Hopefully, we hope to be able to launch this whole thing this year, like
Oh
by
wow.
this year.
Wow.
But development is hard, and Silver Eagle is a very busy person,
Yeah.
and they're doing that all on the side. So we do basically have the backend structure done pretty much, and now it's a bit of polishing on the backend, and then we're starting to build the front end properly. So I hope to be able to share some more progress on that later on. It's probably going to be on our social accounts. And yeah, for the second part of your question on where else is it gonna go, especially on the real life
Yep.
front, right? Like I mentioned earlier with A&E doing this whole band thing, more and more cons, like you see it more and more often, conventions who are trying to like be sneaky, be silly about how and who they select
Yeah.
for music acts, and like I don't know, sometimes even mistreating their artists, like they're inviting them and they're paying for a bunch of people unrelated to the con or whatever,
Yep.
but then they get like a music act and they're either unable to provide any equipment even though they would have said maybe they could provide some.
Yeah.
They cannot pay for the stay, they cannot pay for a flight, they cannot pay for a gig, that kind of stuff. And this is something that is certainly changing. A lot of cons have started being more focused on creating better music shows, involving more musicians into the decision making of how they do stuff. I was approached by hold on, let me find that. Or I was approached by, for example, a chairman of a Canadian convention, of a bigger one. I don't know the name right now.
Yeah.
Uh, and they specifically approached me to like ask about how can they create a more welcoming space for musicians to basically create opportunities to perform at the convention, and things like that are really they're happening. There's stuff going on, and even on Twitter, when cons don't do that, it's I've seen it a couple times now. When cons don't do that, or like kind of completely forget about the music side
Yeah.
of the con, they get really shit on
Oh yeah. Oh
on like
yes.
Twitter nowadays.
Yep.
And that has been forcing even smaller cons to kind of consider the music aspect as well, or like DJ or like dance floors and everything, like actually getting proper furry DJs with a varied set with like varied sets and everything to kind of make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see that. And I feel like that's gonna be something that's gonna keep changing for the better. More like just more influence from the music side, like from the music community to the actual conventions to create better opportunities for each of it. Like it's a win-win situation for both, basically.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer to just accept the help from musicians to
Yeah.
make your music at your con better, right?
Yeah.
And these two things combined, I think, should everything go well, like the online side starts getting together more, and the RL side is gonna start being better organized. We definitely gonna start entering a new era where all this stuff is gonna become a lot larger and a lot more prominent.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely think that's something that's emerging. I kind of think I think from the first con that I went to the last con that I've been to has like really shown the dichotomy. Like first con that I went to was Furry Week in Atlanta, 2019, and I was like the raves and all that were going on. But, like I kind of wasn't like interested in like that music, but I DJ Woozy, like one of the Magic label mates, like one of my friends, like was doing, was literally just like setting up shop down at the bottom floor of the con, just in a corner, like just doing what they do, and like we were just down there for just like like an hour or so, just like like doing the stuff that at least I personally, and just like we as a collective, like we're wanting to hear and experience and to see for it to go from that to, literally having a whole segment dedicated to their label at FWA this past year has been just a crazy boom and just to experience. And I'm super excited. I think the aspect of I think label mates, no, friends. One of Magic's labels. I am a free agent, Haley. Let's not get things twisted. But like just like seeing the seeing that boom and like knowing where it's going to go, whether that be, I would not be shocked if within the next little bit we start to maybe potentially see full blown days of music where it's like where like the rave and stuff. Obviously, the raves and stuff happen at night, but within the chunk of the day, there is like just lots and lots of musicians. Kind of talked about it with A&E, but just like labels having their own blocks. I think that's something that's going to be a major thing going forward. Like I said, like encompassing the whole day, not just the nighttime at cons. I think that's something that we'll be seeing a lot more. I'm excited. I'm super excited to see where y'all and just music as a whole goes forward from here. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, on the note of like more music centered events, sometime last month there was a furry music festival.
All right.
It was just basically a convention. It was Funa Fest. Yes, Funa Fest. It was basically 3 or 4 days or something, and it was a pure furry convention just about music. It was a whole music festival by and for furries. That is the kind of development that is happening nowadays.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Wow.
And next month on September 23rd, Goji will be there. There is Goji. Help me with the name. That was New Horizons dance party, basically, which is also a purely furry music event, which basically goes right into those footsteps.
Wow.
And just things like these are finally happening, and it's fucking amazing.
That man, oh my, that's so dope to hear. Man, I love it. I love to hear this expounding upon like I would say the traditional furry things, but like to see this expound upon like grow to this extent, like that's something that's so it's so cool to see and experience in real time. Like that, whew. I'm excited. I'm super excited. You know what, Finn? I'll take you up. I'll take you up on that music video debut. Let's do a little premiere now. You said there was flashing. If you have some seizure symptoms or that kind of thing, if you're sensitive to flashing lights, maybe. Like you can maybe leave the stream. I don't mind.
No, like, seriously, this is like a very flashy music video.
Yeah. So
and this one has no warning at the front, so it is flashy, and I am not kidding. Let me grab you the link. I'm gonna send it to you in Discord. And there we go. And yeah, enjoy the music. The artist is Arith, 17-year-old from Australia. Fucking fantastic artist. They were on Fuzznet back then as well, and one of the few exceptions I made for like the 18+ Rover label, simply because the music they're making is great, and it's basically it's rave breakbeats, it's fast electronic music, and it's great.
Yes, and we got a little unlisted. Once again, as everybody can see, you see it down there. This is not for public. This is a Ghazi stream world premiere, except for the 19
exclusive for me.
Except for the 19 people that have already watched this. All right, theater mode. Let's get into this. Let's get into CA triple 09. Yet to be named. We'll figure it out. Here we go.
Coming out September 8th.
I mean, you won't wish for this. The Yankees blank arena.
Hey, all right. I wish I had the Funk Master Flex. I wish I had those. I wish I had the bomb. This is a world premiere. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. Look at that. I feel like Carson Daly for real up here. Good Lord. Premiering videos and interviewing the big dogs. All right. I love it. I love it. Man. Hey, golly.
I'm very glad everyone seems to be enjoying it. Like, that was expensive.
Yeah, no, chat loves it. Money well spent, I say. At least within this little world premiere group we got. Damn, what a great way to close out the show on. Finn, thank you for coming on. Let the people know where to find you on social media as well as the label.
Yeah, thank you very much again for having me, and thank you everyone in chat for being here. Let me do one quick thing. We didn't reach the 25 viewers, but you know, I'd be an ass if I wouldn't just do it anyway. So let me quickly do this, and that's done.
Fuck it.
And yeah, you can find Aura Alliance pretty much. It's actually pretty easy. Get on auraalliance.page. And you can pretty much find everything there. And we're on Twitter and Mastodon and Blue Sky and Telegram. You can just find us all at Aura Alliance. And yeah, super simple to get to. And you'll find everything you want on there. It's going to be very, very nice to have you. And hopefully we'll see you listening, supporting, or just being around.
Yes, Finn. Once again, thank you. Look, impressive. This is very impressive. Very impressive what you got going on. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. I know it's late over there. It's a little past midnight, but appreciate you staying up a little bit. I know you had some energy drinks, but maybe you can go tamper down a little bit. Just simmer down a little bit.
I will. And you're gonna have better have a good evening.
Yes, I will.
It looks wonderful.
I was gonna say it's already been good, but I'll make sure to do it. Yeah.
Much love, many hugs.
Yes.
Wishing everyone a good one.
Appreciate it. Take it easy. I will see you later. Peace.
Yes. Bye.
See you. Yes, everybody. Yes. What a show. I look, you come on the stream, you never know what's gonna happen. We got world premieres, we got sneak peeks, we got it all. You keep showing up. Yes, thank you all for coming on. I kinda don't have anything else. Once again, a little bit of housekeeping. Next little bit, probably gonna deviate from our typical schedule. Gonna be a lot more in-week streams. So I would target Wednesday, but it might be a moving target of Tuesday to Thursday, depending on my schedule. Probably a lot less weekend streams. Just kind of with the nature of work and what I do, getting ready to start pick back up. So look for a lot more midweek streams. We still got a very good crowd for midweek, so we might be hanging around doing this for a little while. All right. Yes. Thank you to Finn for showing up and showing out with these subs. Good Lord. Thank you for everybody in chat showing up. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you all to have, I can't do my typical have a good week because it's not the weekend. Have a good rest of your week. Do something nice for somebody. Pick up some trash. Hold a door open. That's the kind of stuff. It's good karma. Make it come back around to you. Hey, don't be an ass online to furry musicians. Hey, support your people. Don't put them down. Don't have a crabs in the bucket mentality. Support them. That's all you need to do. Yes. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all for coming on. I want y'all to take it easy. I've been Ghazi. Good night. Peace.